Welcome to PassPortal's demonstration of how to activate a user account. You would have received an email already from PMCS uh, administrator, and basically he's created the first account for you guys already. And this is as a sample. We've created a user, and we send it to the email. And within the email, you will receive a message indicating to log in and activate the new account. So I've opened the email, and this is what the email will look like. It'll be coming from PMCS, and it'll say activate account. You activate the account, and you will receive this screen. Uh, and because this is the first user, it's set up as an administrator, and we have to come up with the organization key at the bottom also. So I generally create all this prior to, so you don't have to worry about it, but this is pretty much what everybody's going to run into. So as soon as you click on activate account, you'll get the screen. You have to select a password. So I'm going to use a complex password. And because I have PassPortal already installed on mine. I have the extension right here. I'm just going to come up here. I'm going to say generate a password, copy, generate a password, and then copy. And, uh, and I'm going to come in here and put it Control V, Control V, and then I'm going to answer some of the security questions that it's asking for. The phone number should always be your cell phone number, because the cell phone number later on, when we turn on two-factor authentication, we want to be able to utilize the phone number to do it. And it'll ask you a whole bunch of questions. What is the last name of your first grade teacher, or whatever else? Just select one of these and answer it. For now, I'm just going to put something irrelevant, because this is an account that I'm going to delete later anyway. So I'm just going to give it an answer of 1, and I'm just going to say 1, 1. But you obviously, for security reasons, you should answer them correctly. And then it's going to ask you for organization key. The organization key is where you would come up with a passphrase or something that is meaningful to your organization. And this is not a password, so it does not have to be secret, but passphrase is something that uniquely will be given to your organization. So just come up with something creative, and PMCS will work with you prior to this happening and give you an idea what it is. And the key thing about the passphrase is if you forget the passphrase basically in everything in the back end, we will lose it. So we will definitely document the passphrase properly so that doesn't happen. The organization key, I'm just going to come up with something silly, and it's going to say, uh, help me. So obviously I didn't type it in correctly. All right, so it went green, so we're all good. We create an organization key. This is permanent. You cannot change it once it's done. So I'm going to say activate account. It says please fill out a field that, okay, so it wants me, just because it says 555 there, that does not mean it filled it up. So let's do activate account. Okay, so once we activate the account, it logs us in automatically, and we are here. So right on top of right here is basically you have the user that was logged on. It's the PMCS Easy account. If you click on that, you have the profile, user preferences. These are some things that you can change from there. The bell is if there's any kind of alerts that they want you to be aware of. This is your favorites, and this is basically recent items. You can also have the search area right up here. And then we have a whole bunch of shortcuts in here. Those are all can be looked into at a later date. On the left side, you'll see My Vault, Company Vault, User Management, Access Control, Reports, and Settings. So the administrator will get user management, access control, remotes, and settings. I believe the settings will be there for other users, but non-administrators are not going to see these. You're basically going to have My Vault, Company Vault, and I believe just the settings end of it. So My Vault is basically your own vault. This is where you uh, have your own personal passwords that you're not sharing with anybody. Where Company Vault is where you would put in a passwords that you want to share with your uh, other members of your company. So as you can see, there are an option in here. It says new folder and new password. So if we just want to create a password that we want to share with the company, okay, so it would just be create a password and then folders if it's available. We have not created any folders. So it'll just be, the username would be, let's say it's an admin account. And then if we know the password, we can enter it. If we want to generate a new password, we can just click on that. It creates a new password. And this is what the password is going to be. So it's pretty complex. There's no way you're going to remember it. A description, what is this description is for? Let's say this is to log into your computer. So this is a, let's move to this. Let's say this is your user account to log into your computer and your login name is PMCS. That's your username. So description would be PMCS user user login. Okay, and then you can select from here credential type. You've got all these pre-populated credential types that you can select from. So since this is a Active Directory user account, this is to log into our system, I'm just going to select that. But if this was a website that we're going to go with, we can just select the website and we can make it as a website. But since this is an Active Directory account, we're going to uh, say it's an Active Directory user account. And then, of course, if this was a website, we would put in the URL, and that's where it would be. And we will also can put in notes in here if you want to. So we can say create, and it creates it right there. So once this is how you would basically create passwords within the system. Let's say you're still under the company heading and you want to, for organizational purposes and or for controlling security, so you can control who can access that information from your company and who cannot. So the folder basically serves two folds. One is for security reasons, the other one is for organization purposes. So let's say if I want to create a folder that I want to put in my user, well, this is actually personal user account. Probably I should not have put this here in the company folder. It should have been in the My Vault because I don't want my user login in the company vault. But that was just an explanation of creating a password. So to create a new folder is you just click on that and then it'll come up on the side, create a folder name. So you give it a name. I'm going to call this a test folder, or you don't just call test. And then if we had other users, other groups assigned, which I have not created any, I could have clicked this and basically said everybody in this group can access this test folder. Since I don't have any groups, it's just going to create the test folder and uh, it's going to be basically accessed its organization. So right now as you can see, my password disappeared from here because I'm no longer in the root folder. In order for me to go to the root folder where that one password relies, I have to click on APC. And now it's in the root folder, and in the root folder, there's also a test folder. Let's say I want to organize my password. I click on this, then I can go into Edit. Let's see here. Or with selected, we can go in there and say move passwords. And where do you want to move the passwords to? We want to move it to test. We say save. So now it's not in the root anymore, but my password is in the folder right there. So that's how you can organize your passwords. So if you can have as many folders as you want, and then you can move your password within this folder to organize them. And of course, the access control is, like I said, because I'm the administrator, it comes up. This will not be available to all users, only for administrative users. Access control has basically two things: security groups and permission levels. Security groups, the way I look at it is, are things that you can see and the groups you can see. The permissions are what you can do. So that's how you can get around it. We can go back to all these on a later date per individual basis because it can get a little bit more in depth, and I don't want to take too much of this time to show all this to every user. But at the same time, you can create groups, and then you can add your users to the groups. And then once you get your groups created, you can go on your permission levels and say, I want this group to have access to this folders that you would give to. So let's say if I only want to give certain groups access to this folder and nobody else can, that's where you would do it. And of course, under reports, we have a lot of things we can do under our reports, and we can show complexity, credentials within your organization at selected password complexity levels, if they've meeting the complexity levels, known by user, unchanged passwords, who has not changed their passwords, uh, and how long have they not changed. So you have a lot of reports you can get out of here. Pretty powerful stuff to keep you compliant and to keep you safe, because you don't need one employee to not follow the rules and not change passwords, and next thing you know, you're in trouble. So we have a lot of abilities. Under settings, we have other things that we could do. So since we're here, I'm going to show you quickly. Under credential types are where the pre-loaded credentials are. And then if some of these are not what you want, you can basically say new credential, and you can create a new credential type over there and then just show up. So let's say if I want to create a credential type of Wi-Fi. All right, so, and then it's going to show up down here as Wi-Fi as a credential type. So, and I'll show you how that is used in a few minutes, and where it's worthwhile, so it doesn't show up everything that you want if you don't want it to show up. So under downloads, basically is where you would see all your extensions that you can download to uh, to install on your browser. Like I have the Chrome extension right here on top, and it just makes things much easier for me to use. So once I download and install the Chrome extension, I can pretty much run a lot of these things from my extension. I don't have to be logged into this portal. So the Chrome extension is one of them. And also we have the import templates. So the import templates are if you decide that if you already have if you currently have another password manager, or if you want to export out your passwords through your Chromebook or your Chrome browser or any other browser, you can download them. And then the templates in here, when you download them, it will password import download templates. And what happens is once you download them, it gives you an Excel spreadsheet of how uh, what the template should look like and how your data should be coming in to upload them. So you can pre-populate all your passwords into your Vault so you don't have to do a lot of them manually if you already have them. Okay, so the downloads is where it is. Under import export, once you download them, you can import them into the system and be able to do all that. Under general, there are a lot of functionalities in here. We don't immediately turn on two-factor authentication to for our customers as soon as we put it in, but we certainly wanted to turn that on because last thing we want is somehow somebody figured out your one-time pass or your one password that you're supposed to remember, and they were able to get in, but having 2FA turned on, then it'll give us the ability to authenticate on a secondary device before it lets you in. We use Duo ourselves, and Duo is a paid service, but there are other services in here. Google, Microsoft Authenticator is free. They work well. Text messaging, we prefer not to do it. We prefer the Authenticator or Duo is the way we'd set it up. We can force all users to use 2FA, allow users to change method of 2FA communication. We generally don't turn it on. And use your existing Duo integration. So if you had a Duo account, that we would do, and then we will set all this up. But because we are not turning this on right now, uh, we're going to move on without that. Under advanced options, so remember earlier on I created a credential type Wi-Fi, and basically, if I just want to see the credentials type that I've created, I don't care about anything else. I can say show only custom credential types. Turn that on, and then it will allow us to, it will only show us the credential type that we want to see. Like, uh, let's say we select that, credential types, and it's not cooperating. So let's see, oh, because I didn't turn it on. Save. So now I saved it. Go to credential types. And it's only going to show the credential type that I created, not the rest of the credentials within the system. So I'm going to turn that back off because we really want to see everything. So we're going to do that and hide unassigned folders from users. So if we had created folders, but we did not assign in Company Vault, we did not assign any users, we don't want everybody to see this in your company. Basically, by saying under General, hide unassigned folders, the test folder will not show up to anybody else. It only will show up to the people it's been assigned to. So it's pretty powerful. So having said that, uh, that's one way of getting things done. We're going to remove that. We're going to remove that. So I want to quickly talk about the extension. So once we download the extension, you can go in here and download it, or you can go to the Chrome store, Chrome Web Store. Then you can, from there, you can search for Solar Winds PassPortal, and then you can download this. And because I have already installed, it's asking me to remove it, which I'm not. So you just download it and install it. And then once it's installed, you can basically log in, and it will come up such as this. This is the screen you'll come up. You'll put in your email address, your one-time password not one-time password, the one password that we ask you to remember, that it's got to be uh, at least 20 characters long, but it's got to be something that you guys want to use. And then you would put in the organization key, and the country is United States, and you say log in. So I'm going to quickly log in. So as you can see, mine is at least 20 characters long. I'm going to log in. And of course, it's going to ask me to 2FA because we do have Duo set up on our system. And we are going to authenticate, two-factor authentication. I'm logged on at this point, so I'm ready to go. So, and I do have a lot of passwords that's been created in here. So, uh, you know, I can easily do searches and be able to figure it out. If I want to do GoDaddy account, so I can search that and I can launch it from here, and username and passwords are right there. I could do it. I do, since we are a MSP, we have many other clients that we do things on. So we can hit on credentials and I can have all my other accounts pop up. But right now, this is the only one coming up through here. So if I want to launch it, I can say launch. It will take me there. It'll automatically log me, put in all the credentials that I want and log me in. But obviously, I don't want to go do that right now. So I'm going to close that out. So quickly, if we want to create a password through the extension, we can just do this and say password generator. It comes up. We generate that. We copy that right there. And then let's say we want to go to anywhere else. If we want to go to Microsoft.com or Office.com, well, I want to go somewhere that it's not automatically going to populate, but in any case, uh, it will automatically populate. You can put it in and get it done. So right here, you can create on plus key your username, whatever the username is. PMCS eze at gmail.com. And of course, that's not our real password user account. That's just a fake account that I've created. So let's say I will do there. It's going to generate that password. And description is where the system is going to use to locate this. So it is, let's say if I want to go to SolarWinds PassPortal, that's where the description is. It's a website. It's going to put into my vault. So it's my password. And if there was a folder that was created, it's going to go there and it's automatically going to try to get as much as the URL that's available from there, put it there, and then we're going to say save. And then it's going to save it for us at that point. So, and we can easily search. And of course, because I'm using different accounts right there, it came up finally because it took a few minutes to synchronize. But this is how you would create a password and be able to launch and then put it in and get it done. I hope that was a good amount of information, and I'll do my best to create more videos to present to you. But this is PassPortal. Thank you for watching.